We ended up going in to speak with Palaszczuk, and we stayed in Palaszczuk's office as a result of us being homeless. She gave us an offer of a house in Tara. That was the only place that they could locate a home for us. It was a small 3-bedroom weatherboard home. We moved in there for 3 months, and my parents and my partner's parents, were still down south, so we were sort of very disjointed from family, and coming back here was really hard. We had gas workers and stuff living around the corner from us, so we didn't feel that we could come back, even though we wanted to come back because we've got family and friends here. So it was a really confusing time for us in what to do. From the government standpoint, they bought out, they flew out the social welfare person, community person, and another 2 government representatives. They flew out here. We had the Scott Little from the compliance turn up, and another gentleman, I can't think of his name. Now, Scott Little, was an interesting story to that was when my property had been, we locked down the property from the dispute, I contacted Scott Little in the compliance unit, and after I'd lost our home, I recontacted him. He hadn't got back to me. When I picked him up at the airport, I confronted him and he said, yeah, sorry about that. Now, so my family meant nothing to the compliance unit, whereas he still had his home. Sorry about that doesn't compensate for everything that we'd lost. And he was the only representative who's meant to be helping landowners, and there was no support there whatsoever. Then they come out, we showed them around, we went up to the Noods and we showed these representatives around, and they made us promises about social impact, and nothing's happened. We're still 3 years later. People are still being socially impacted in the area. My friends are still living in a Gasfield. We asked for this to be zoned as a high impacted area. Tests, baseline, all this has not been still done. I have friends who still have leukemia living in the area that are still flying their kids to, well, not flying because she drives every week to Brisbane, but Angel Flight in Tara is still full. They're still flying kids out in here. For us, we're still living in caravans. We haven't been able to financially pick ourselves up. From it's the devastation, and I feel the 2 years it's just starting to heal, and you still got hurt and anger and no identity of a community anymore, and some refugees, gas refugees, have left. Some are still unaccounted for. We've lost a lot of people that we can't even contact, so we don't even understand their impact. They're still selling land out here. They're still bringing in more families. There's still going to be devastation in other families, other impact, and there's another cycle. Every year the blocks get cheaper and the prices continue to go down in land. Poorer families go, that's our dream of 10 acres, a home for our children. Let's do this. They don't understand the consequences they're going to pay for their children's sickness, for their children's health, and their mental state of the impacts that it has with the machinery, the noise, the smells, and their health. And it's all too late once they start making those vendor finance payments. That is continuing to happen. More and more families are still moving out here, and they're already the vulnerable families. That hasn't changed. Impact on the families that are still here hasn't changed. So Palaszczuk's still done nothing. And yet they're all very aware of it out here. They've had representatives, every politician has come out here. They know, they're aware, and yet families are still here. They're still driving their kids every day to school. They're still breathing the air. They're still drinking the water. They're still bathing in the water. There's no baseline studies. There's no tests still. How can this be? How do you know? You cannot deny leukemia and cancer. You can't deny that. The kids are getting flown to Brisbane every bloody week. Why? Nobody's giving us answers on these. As for us, I've probably taken more of a step back now because I got nowhere, I feel. I feel that nobody really cares. Nobody's really done anything to support me and my family. So we've just been out on our own, doing our own thing. Some people have got paid out and they've been able to move on with their lives in the sense that they've got a home. We haven't got a house. We're still in a caravan. How do I feel about that? It still bugs me that I worked 20 years of my life to pay a mortgage, to have not even money now to afford roofing iron. What was the point of everything? It doesn't seem like there was a point. And you have really down days. And it's hard coming back, like to see friends and stuff, but you have to, because you need to support them, because you're all they've got. So you've got to push through coming back to support them.